All right, the preliminary feasibility assessment. What is a feasibility over here? A feasibility means it answers one question: can it work or not? Can this project work or not? Work in terms of can it be delivered? You understand? The feasibility means is can this project be delivered? And you can have a problem, a real problem, all right, that is following the three items that we say: specific, measurable, and relevant. You can have the needs for solving to start a project to solve this problem. You can have the scope down, whatever that you're going to solve, and you can identify your objective clearly. But it all goes back to this: whether this project can be delivered or not. It's just this framework is very funny, It's like you can just apply in your life, You can set so many high achievement goals. All right. Of course, we can set a lot of good goals in life, right? But sometimes it is not feasible. All right. You say that you want to study medication as well. You want to become a doctor as well. In the meantime, studying accountant. You're going to practice medication while being an accountant. Is it possible? So to certain people, it's possible, all right, unless you're a genius, all right, or not in that sense. Then do you have the time? All right, do you have the resource? Do you have the capabilities? All right, do you have the capacity to do that? All right, these are all the questions that are going to come back to you, right? And in fact, these are the feasibility tests, all right? The feasibility assessment. We don't say test, all right? We are assessing whether this project is deliverable. All right, deliverable means it can be delivered or not, all right? You can suggest, but you cannot deliver, then it will be a problem. But you don't mistake yourself with the vision, all right? Vision and goal is different, all right? You can have you yourself, all right? You can have multiple objectives that you want to fulfill. Objectives might not be able to fulfill, but your vision of who you are, who you're going to become in the future, that one is your ultimate cornerstone of yourself, all right? The vision should be set very high. Your vision should be set up very high. Like our vision is to lead, right? Our vision is to lead, all right? At USM, our vision is to lead. That's like the very high top. So how are you going to achieve that? That's how you set your life. So I'm just putting that to here as well, right? Your vision for this project is to score good marks, right, in this subject. No. Vision goes back to your life. Depends on which kind of a scope that you're going to go into, right? So scope into this one, your vision is maybe to score the full. Then the objectives, you're going to list down what I'm trying to say. But that over here is, all right, I don't want to waste the time anymore. Over here we have three elements or three components you can look at to do the preliminary, right? This one is wrong. Preliminary feasibility assessment. Later on, the next stage, you will do a detailed assessment. That is where you're going to, sometimes you're going to purchase something, you're going to add something, not add something, you're going to purchase something, right? So those kind of detailed assessment later on. But over here is preliminary. Preliminary, looking at the three aspects over here, supposed to be dollar, all right? First is, okay, what do we have over here? What is this one over here? The tools. Tools is the technical, right? Technical. Is it correct? You should have do you have, all right, the first feasibility preliminary assessment is, do you have the techniques or not? Do you have the right sets of skill? Am I right? Am I right? You need to check yourself whether you are able to do the basic things, all right, those kind of configurations, or what kind of programming involves. All right. And next is the finance, right? The economy, all right? The economic aspect, which means you're going to check whether, you understand, you're now you are now doing an assessment of your project, whether you can deliver it or not. First is you must have the know-how first, right? How to create the things, how to solve the things, all right? The tools, the techniques you should have, and then you should have is it economic enough? Over here is preliminary. Preliminary means you just get an overall view, all right? A very overall view. So you're just going to say that if I implement this reconciliation solution for this e-wallet, this company, all right, you will cost you, maybe the cost of development is 1,000 ringgit, but if you implement this one, you don't have to have someone to reconcile this, which solve your working hours, maybe 4 hours, 4 hours per week. So you got 1 month, maybe 4 times 4, 16 hours, and then 1 hour, maybe you are giving 10 ringgit, 160. So you're going to have 160 saved per month over the investment of the development, 1,000 ringgit. So you're going to calculate how much the payback that you're going to, the payback period from the initial investment, something like that, right? You're just going to randomly plug in an amount which is logical to do the preliminary feasibility assessment, all right? Feasibility, I think feasibility, right? Feasibility, correct? I didn't check this. Assessment is correct. Assess. Do we have another S over here? Assessment. All right. And also, finally, it goes back to this one. The organization. The organization should be willing to accept the new technology. All right. The user should be not resisting your idea. You can. This is a feasibility assessment. So if you have maybe more senior, all right, more senior employees, they might not be prone to use the technology. Somehow, right? Somehow, seniors, when they come about the phone or the technologies, they'll be like. They will pause for a while, all right? There's like a buffering in their brain. And because of what? The question goes back to because of maybe they don't expose themselves to the technology as what we are exposing ourselves to, right? To them, technology maybe is not that that neat, all right, that obvious for them. So in terms of organization, you need to check also feasibility in terms of whether the group of people would accept your solution when you want to propose, and then when you're going to develop, all right? If you develop a system, give it to them, but maybe these are the farmer, all right? Go back to your project, all right? These are the farmers, and then in the farming field, all right, they might not have the time, or they don't want to go and calculate don't want to go and capture the temperature maybe, or you don't want to go and capture the soil. You know, you need to input those information into the system so that the system will tell you that maybe in 5 days time, all right, you're going to expect this mushroom harvest, all right? It's a time for you to harvest this mushroom. And in that sense, all right, you need to do the feasibility test. Then you still want to help this farmer, right? You cannot leave them hanging over there. But their feasibility is that they don't want to get involved with the technology, all right? They say that I don't want to get involved with the technologies. I just want to do my job, plant the mushroom, get the mushroom, harvest it, and then send it to the processing village and they process it, right? So what you need to think of is you need to go and look at this one, all right? Then this assessment failed already. Then what you need to do is you need to go back to your scope again, all right? Go back to your scope again and go back to your objectives again. So what you should do is you should suggest, instead of recording manually into the system, the technology, all right, should be automated, all right? Automatically capture the information from the farm and just send a notification to the farmer that they can harvest it in maybe 3 hours time, all right? And how this can be done, you need to redefine the whole thing all over here again. You can leverage on the IoT, all right? Internet of Technologies, Internet of Things, right? Sensor can be automatically captured information from the temperature, the soil. Maybe you can implement a camera with the AI that can detect the shape of the mushroom. But then it goes back to the feasibility again, all right? That's the how do I say? That's the 2 coin, right? That's the 2 coin that you need to consider. Can you consider that and then write out the first report, all right, on that, and go into detail, all right? Go into depth on what you need to have. You need to have a microcontroller to feed the information back to your system. System will automatically capture. You need to have the system to have the monitor to feed on the AI to capture the shape of the mushroom. That's where the first part only, all right, the farming. Then the second part, which is the processing, all right. Then you need to consider all of this, all right. This project is very huge, so you need to get yourself in your group and think like this, all right? Think like this, rather than just copy everything and paste and then generate again. Then your marks will be up to that level, all right? Up to that level. Okay, that's it about this.